Right, welcome back. It's your boy Maurice here, and we have another moment of truth for you. Today's moment of truth is follow through, doing what you said you're going to do. It goes right into my whole code of consistency, transparency, and patience. It's the consistent part. So, the reason why I'm making this in an episode is because historically, I've had the experience of following through on what I'm saying I'm going to do. That was in the past. I've done it a lot. And to be quite honest, it has come up in my development. So I've witnessed people on a regular basis saying they're going to do something and then not following through on it. And then it just sits there and it sits there and it festers and it just sits there and the guilt stays there. And then you end up lashing out on other people. Mother did that, and it was not really that good. And I started to pick up the habit a little bit. So picking up that habit, it carried me throughout life, and it didn't really serve me that well. I was like, why can't I get this thing together? Why can't I do what it is I want to do? Is because it's a deep rooted habit that was formed. Now, it's not an excuse. I was just merely explaining what was going on. So I decided actually a few years ago, I'd say about, let's see, I want to say about maybe 4 years ago, 4 to 5 years ago, I said, you know what? I've been consistent in my fitness. I've been consistent with like going to work, doing stuff like that. I've been consistent with all types of parts of my work, my training and things like that. I need to make sure I follow through on everything. So I got to raise that standard to follow through on whatever it is I say I'm going to do. And when I decided to do that, it was hard at first. It was really tough because I'm like, oh man, I got to do this and I don't feel like it. The first thing that comes up is I don't feel like it. And I'm quite sure that's for anybody. I don't feel like doing laundry. I said I'm going to do laundry at whatever, 5 o'clock in the morning. Man, this bed feels good. I'm like, you know what? If I just wait a little bit of time and I'll do it later, I'll still get it done. I'm still following through. Nah, it's not acceptable. If you say you're going to do something, then that's what you do. And that's what I was telling myself. If I said I'm going to do laundry at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, they don't let us do that now. That means my ass gets up. I roll out of bed. I grab the basket and the cart and I roll it to the back of the building. After grabbing the materials, the soap and the dryer sheets and all that stuff, and I go do the laundry at the time I said I'm going to do the laundry. And after a while, it took some time to get going. But after a while, I started to make that my constant practice. If I said I'm going to do yoga, I'm going to do yoga. I'm not going to deviate. And then the more I started to do that, the more success I started to see in all areas of my life. And I would look back at that and I'm like, man, why did it take me so long? I could have been so far ahead if I had just stuck to the things I said I'm going to stick to. If I would have followed through on that. If I said I'm going to go talk to this person and follow through on that, be leaps and bounds from where I am. But that was my thing. I didn't follow through back then, but now I do it. I created an internal culture of following through. Now it's not always easy, and it's a work in progress all the time because there's plenty of times I don't feel like doing something. Actually, there's a lot of times I don't feel like doing something. Believe it or not, I do have a part of me that wants to be lazy, but I do battle with that lazy part of me each and every day. I want to win more than I want to rest. I want to be victorious more than I want to be a victim. I want to be empowered and driven versus sedentary and stabilized. You know what I mean? I want those other things for me. So in order for me to get those higher level things, I have to raise my standards. And once I raise the standard to following through on things, I found that a lot of cool things came about. I mean, there was a bit more comfort in the fact that I did battle with myself and that tendency to not follow through and then reap the fruits and rewards of actually following through on stuff. That feels better to me than not doing something. And it's like that translates into my relationship with my wife and how we do things. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. She doesn't have to ask or question or think about it. Although sometimes she just, she might get ahead of it before I can get to it. But 99% of the time, if I say I'm doing something, I'm going to do it. And it gets done. No questions asked. And do I feel like doing it? This is redundant, but no, I don't sometimes. I'm like, oh man, I gotta go back in here and do these dishes. But I'm gonna do it. And going back to what I said earlier, it was deeply rooted from childhood. And that's why it's really important to me to do battle with it now. So that way, when I have my family someday, I don't create that culture of, oh, I'll get to it later, that procrastination culture. That's what I'm gonna call it, procrastination culture. Because you'll sit back and you'll wait on things and then, all right, whatever, I'll just live, whatever, it'll happen. But it doesn't. Even in my past relationship, my previous engagement, there was a lot of dream talk and vision talk and not following through on things and just waiting for something to happen. I remember we were sitting around, we wrote out these vision boards, we wrote out these statements and whatnot, me and my ex, and it was like, I saw hers and it said, as if by magic, blah, 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 whatever. All right. There's only one magic. There's only one magic trick, one magic potion. That's you getting up off your ass and making shit happen. So it got to the point where she was even relying on me to carry out my own vision and mission state, my own vision of whatever I put down that piece of paper. And then she's like, well, what are you going to go do? I'm like, well, what are you going to do? And she made her vision smaller because mine was bigger, because she didn't want to clash with my vision. It's ridiculous. And what that led to was a stagnation between the two of us, and there was no progress at all. I mean, I made micro progressions, but nothing really happened. It was a whole bunch of horse shit. But then after that, I started to follow through. The best example I can give of me following through on something is the age by age list that my therapist has me do every year. So I started at 36. I did that one. So I was 35 when I started to write that down. I was like, okay, I wrote down 36 things I wanted to do by the time I was 36. 36 rolled around. I looked at that list. I'm like, yo, I barely did anything on this list. And I felt a semblance of guilt and shame and a bit of disgust, actually. So then I said, 37, I'm coming. So I wrote that. So, wrote the next list. 37, I got after it. 38, got after it. 39, got after it. 40, getting after it, and now I'm on 41 by 41. And these things, when you follow through, it's going to help you grow. It started to really help me grow exponentially. And it makes me become more of it helps me be more of service to everyone around you, you who's watching this video, my wife, my family, my friends and my clients, all that stuff, that follow through, it all comes around and it all benefits everyone when I choose to follow through. So if you're in the same boat, right, and you have trouble with following through, all right, here's what you can do. All right. Number one, do a small thing, follow through on that task. Just make it a non-negotiable. Don't even second guess, think of nothing. Alarm clock goes off, you get up, you go do that. Number two, if you want to make a statement, you want to get after that. Matter of fact, don't even wait for your alarm clock. Do that right now. Right now. If you want to go, all right, you said to yourself, all right, I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to unload the dishwasher. You get up after the video's over and you go unload the dishwasher. And then you repeat that every time. So, and another thing, number 3, actually try on following through on everything you said that you're going to do for one day. And then document how you feel about that, right? Put that in a gratitude journal somewhere and say, okay, I did bam, 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 bam. I did all that. I guarantee you're going to feel great after that. You're going to feel exuberance. You're going to feel that jubilation. You're going to feel this sensation of elevation because you overcame the stagnation and you took action to lead to actual satisfaction. All right. And when you put that all together, bam, you follow through. Right. So when you do what you say you're going to do, it's a powerful statement. Most importantly, you will take yourself seriously, which will lead to other people taking you seriously. So that's my time for today. Hope you enjoyed this one. I took a break from the last one to give it some time, but yes, you best believe I will be coming back on again, following through with the next episode of Moment of Truth next week. All right, so get out there, follow through, do what you do, stay solid, step boldly, all that wonderful stuff. All right, peace out to you.